welcome. Thank you for coming. We appreciate you. 90 people, almost 100 people waiting for us. Thank you all. We really appreciate it. I'm joined by Rod, my co-host. I'm Kat, the nurse flipper, in case you don't know. Sunny Las Vegas is beneath me, and catty corner to me is Mikey Bags of Money. Mikey has not been on before. This is his first time, so go easy on him, or hard, or however you want to go. Give him your best shot. I'm going to let Sunny and Mikey introduce themselves, and then we'll get to the questions. If you have questions, put them in early. Last week, I think we ended with almost 20 questions unanswered, so please get them in early if you want them answered. Put them in all caps. That helps me kind of pull them out of the chat a little bit easier. So here is Sunny.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us once again on another wonderful evening, no matter where you're at. Thank you. We appreciate your time for being here. I'm a full-time reseller, just a little over a year of reselling full-time, but I've been reselling since around end of 2015. I myself and Mikey Bags of Money have a boutique together inside a thrift store, and we do a lot of work and trying to reach out into the community and helping the community. So that way it just struggle less in ways, but there's a lot of fun that we have with one another by ourselves, running into people, and we do our best to share content that's not only entertaining, but also educational, meshed in together. So if you haven't checked us out, you should check us out. I recommend following Mikey Bags of Money. Really good guy, great person, off and on camera.
Perfect. Here's Mikey.
All right, my name is Mikey Bags of Money, full-time reseller and YouTuber. I love doing videos about just going out and getting stuff, having a good time. Love going through the thrift stores. I love collaborating with other people. I've done a lot with Sunny Las Vegas. We've had a lot of fun, built a great friendship, even have a little boutique together. So we also go to little stores. We're discovering new areas. Yeah, I just like to have fun and share my life with others. So I'm very happy to be on the show. It's very educational, and I've learned a lot for sure listening to your fellow guest.
Perfect. All right, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you, and you can share it out and tell your friends if you want to lessen your chance of winning. I'm going to give away 2 $60 Amazon gift cards tonight through the show. Not going to tell you when, but we are going to give away 2 $60 Amazon gift cards because I hit 60K this week. So,
can people in the panel also join in?
Sure.
Yes.
I don't care.
Yes.
I'm not going to join. But you 3 can definitely join. And we're going to use StreamYard's giveaway tool, which I've never used, which will have you guys put a hashtag in the chat when I do the giveaway, and then we'll share the screen. So hopefully I can figure it out. I haven't tested it out, but I've seen many people use it. So Scrappy Stamper says it's a question for the chat, but we can go up. Sunny, probably only one of us needs to answer this. She said she has a big idea book from 1999 for Rubber Stamp Company. All things are retired. No prices listed. Can she send it media mail?
Not rubber stamps.
No, it's a book on them. I think as long as it doesn't have advertising and it's a book, you can. It doesn't matter if it has prices. What it matters is if it has advertising, right?
Yeah,
I think that's
absolutely true. Yeah, if it's a book, it'd definitely go media, but you definitely do want to make sure that there isn't any advertisement on it. And there is a sign usually when you go to the post office. Some people don't. They have the mail picked up to you, scheduled that way. But I used to work for the post office and actually had supervisors and managers tell me, open up that box, see if it's actually media mail. So they left it on my discretion to say yes or no, and I would have to tape it back up. Whether it was or wasn't, you don't get a notification or anything. It just ends up being taped up and shipped along the way. But if not, then they send it back to you or leave a card in your mail if it's in your state or your area for you to go back and pick it up. So there's some things of that I wouldn't chance doing that, trying to get over on mail, because then everybody gets affected by it. Not to say that you're doing it. I just want to throw that in there because it hurts everybody, especially as resellers.
Yeah, and they do open them. I've heard quite a few stories of them opening media mail. All right. Miss Diane wants to know, is anyone shifting focus on what you're selling in 2023? What are you stopping and what are you starting to sell and why?
I'm not doing very good on Grilled or Poshmark. These are just platforms that I'm using. Now, what I'm finding is actually better. and I know Mikey's gonna have a different story with Poshmark. Things just work better with different people. If you've seen his recent video today, he talks about Poshmark and how some things are good to ship compared to other platforms. But for me, I'm just looking at what sells better for me and stick to that. Not that I'm giving up on other things, but my focus has to be where it makes sense, and cents has to turn into dollars, and that's going to be my primary eBay. But I also want to upscale in storage units and go that way. But I need to be more organized than just being able to afford to buy stuff, because this is going to end up kicking me in the butt.
All right. I'm just trying to focus more on some probably hard goods and less clothing. Hard goods sell faster for me. Some of the glass and stuff I want to start picking up more. I want to sell more on Whatnot. It's pretty fun, and I just got to kick it up in gear. I'm always struggling for time myself, so it's hard to pick and choose. But I just definitely want to get some more hard goods, and I want to get less clothing. But I still pick it up. I pick it up all the time, and even when I shouldn't, I just find something's cool or I just like it, so I get it. Just more discipline is what I'd really like to have this year.
So for me, I went full-time last year, and I have a 10 by 25 storage unit completely filled with stuff. I have a 2-car garage completely filled with stuff. So I've got to start being a little bit more selective. My problem is I'm coming across some massive collections lately, and when those opportunities come, you have to jump all over it. But I was looking through my stuff today, and I have to steer away. I used to buy like a lot of electronics, such as receivers, multi-disc, like CD, DVD players, VCRs, which I still love getting those things because I can get them super cheap. And if you get high-end stuff, it does work really well, and you can make some flips. But some of the stuff is just starting to sit around right now for me and takes up a lot of room. So it's not that it's not very profitable. For me, the biggest thing is it's the amount of room it's taken up, where I can get a lot of smaller items and fill that space and really maximize my profit. So that's kind of route I'm going to go, is trying to minimize some of these bigger items I have and focus on some smaller items.
Yeah, so for me, I have been shifting to a lot of jewelry on Whatnot. So that's a shifted focus for me. I hired a full-time assistant to do eBay. As far as stopping selling, my big thing is the breakables that are under like that $20, $25 mark. They're really not worth the time they take to pack. So I'm trying to stay away from them unless I absolutely love them. And there are some that I do. Or like Rod said, if we get them in lots, that's the thing. And I think Mikey brings up a good point, and it's discipline. Like, I know this stuff doesn't sell that high, and I know when it sells for not that high, I'm not going to want to pack it. So it's really just having the strength to leave it on the shelf, unless it comes in lots and I'm paying $1, then it's okay. But paying like $5 is a little too much for something that sells for $20 and is big and breakable. Little trinkets, I'm okay. Those are okay. But not the big stuff. And I actually might start picking up more clothing once we get through the death pile. But I think I really need to educate myself on brands, because I'm not a big clothing seller. So I would have to learn what to pick up, because like somebody said, the only good thing about clothing is shipping. That's a pretty big part of things. You know, listing clothing is not hard either. So I have 3 thrift stores by me that sell dollar clothing. So that is a really great opportunity to have. And we will probably pick up more clothing once we get through the death pile, which will probably take a couple of months. I just wanted to put this up there. Sherry said that she was very impressed with Rod's haul, where he paid $2,100. So if you guys missed Rod's video, definitely go and check it out. Miss Diane wants to know, did I sell my clearance dolls yet? My cart was full on Instagram. I've not sold any because I priced them high. They're limited edition, and I'm going to let them sit. They've been listed about a week now. I got 5 of one and I think 9 of the other. So I'm okay with letting them sit. So they're listed and they are on the shelf, but we have not sold any. And that's because I priced high. Miss Rachel wants to know, how much effort do you put into cleaning, laundering, or restoring items?
Next question. No, I'm just joking. So I am very bad at being organized and listing stuff. And I know I find quality things, and regardless how little I sell, I still have a 50 an average cost of $50 per goods. And I sell less items, but I'm making more than what I was when I was buying more things and listing more things. But it's only because for me, when I have, say, vacations or family come over, it's really hard for me to get back into the rhythm. And when I've tried to work when family's here, my wife gets mad at me. And now I'm like conflicted between both of my reseller world and family, but family always comes first. So I put them first. So for me, my focus has been for these 2 weeks is to really get organized. Mikey was just in my truck yesterday, I believe, and he saw the back seat and it's like full. And you would consider me a hoarder, but I'm not a hoarder because I know where everything's at and the stuff gets listed. It may take 2 years, but I'll get there. But I'm buying things because I could afford to buy them. Like just today, I took my wife to go get coffee. That was the magic trick. I would say, hey, get ready. I'm going to make you breakfast. And I did. And I said, we're going to go get coffee at a new place. It's called It's Sweet or something like that. So I took it there, and the keyword was coffee. But along the way was a place for two Murano lamps that were $40 for both of them. So I knew I couldn't miss out on this because it was just on offer up as green lamps. That's how I found it because I was trying to look for depression uranium Vaseline glass. And I did a screenshot and I was like, holy moly, this person has two Murano lamps. And I thought they were little lamps, like about a foot tall. These things are like 2.5 feet tall. And I was like, these are probably like $2,000 or more, maybe bottom dollar, $900. But for $40, $10 each, I had to get them. So for me, buying stuff and not able to keep up with it right now, it's okay because the things that I have are investments on me and what I know I could get from them. And it doesn't matter on those. It's not retail, it's used. It's not something that needs to be out that I buy from retail and I'm competing with other people. These are very unique items.
All righty. How much effort do I put into cleaning, laundering, and restoring items? Honestly, I put in minimal effort. I try not to buy anything that needs cleaning, laundering, or restoring unless it's going to be worth a lot of money once I do that. I tend to let that stuff sit in a pile, and then I put another piece on that pile, and then I put another piece on that pile, and then I just don't want to deal with that pile. So really, to answer the question, I spend as least amount of time as I can because that's not what I like to do.
I've said this over and over again on the show. I buy profits, not projects. The biggest thing is for me is if I buy clothing, it's going to be minimal cleaning. Shoes, very minimal cleaning. I'm talking like a minute or two, just quick wipe downs or quick scrub. When it comes to items, I mean, if it's more of a higher end item, I will spend an extra 5 or 10 minutes with it, but I need to make $50, $60, $100, to make it worth my time to do that, because the time that I'm spending cleaning items to make 5, 10, 15, 20 bucks, I could be listing that time and listing items that make 20, 30, 40 bucks a piece. So for me, I spend very minimal time with things unless it's actually worth it at the end of the day.
I put zero effort into it. I don't do it. I just don't. I might I occasionally will wash hats if they're valuable enough. I like my clothing I pick up is typically not in need of any cleaning or anything, and I don't do any restoration. I might if I found something worth like thousands of dollars, but other than that, I am not going to. Shanae's Closet says, in your experience, which results in more sales, running sales or sending best offers?
That's a very good question because my first 3 years reselling, I didn't know about promoted listing, advertising, sending out codes. I don't know if that's a new thing, but I've been using them recently. But I found that when I first started back in late 2015, early 2016, not using any of what I just mentioned, I was getting more sales until I started hearing people talk about it. And I noticed I now have to use it for things that I didn't need to before. And these aren't things that are expensive, valuable, really sought out for. I feel like you shouldn't need to advertise things that are valuable and unique. And they're like golden nuggets, a golden egg. But for the things that have been sitting around a while is what I use it for, to just help push it out because I've already made my profits on things that I probably bought it in with bulk buys.
Yeah, I've had a lot of experience sending best offers. I send them every morning, like with my cup of coffee to all the watchers. And in my experience, sending offers has been great. Running sales does good too. Some people like to price their stuff real high and then strategically run a sale all the time to knock the price down. And then sometimes they even send best offers after that. So in my experience, sending offers. If you have a chance to send an offer, send it out because someone's already interested in it. They've clicked the button to like watch it. So they're already hot on the trail. So without doubt, sending best offers, I would say.
So I'm actually going to say both, and I'll tell you why. When I run sales, I don't actually get a lot of sales. I get a lot of watchers when I run sales. So in return, then once those sales end, I actually send all of them a private best offer, and that's when I actually make my sale. So it's weird. If I run a sale, I may only get 1 or 2 items that are coming off that sale, but then I'll get 20, 30 items that have watches on, and I'll send them a personal best offer after the sale ends, and I'll get a couple more sales off that. So for me, the best offers is always the best way to go, but the sales are good to put on sales to get people to add it to their watch list.
Yeah, I'm going to completely agree with Rod and say both of them as well. I run a sale not 24/7, like 23/7. It's off for about 4 to 5 hours a week. And I send offers every morning, every evening, and sometimes in the middle of the day as well. So I say both as well. Sapphire sent a super chat.
Super chat.
Sapphire sent $5 super chat. Thank you so much. And said, hi, Kat. Thanks for all the super helpful advice you and your guests provide every week. Love the show. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. Here is your
Dolphin.
Dun, 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 dun. Miss Rose says, where and how do you organize your inventory?
In piles, mentally. Don't touch it, wife, because if you move one little thing, I'm going to forget everything. That's how my brain works. I'm not organized, but I'm getting there.
Organized chaos, you call it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, when I first started, I just started in the guest bedroom and everything was pretty much organized on the guest bed. I didn't have that many items. And then after a while, I had to clear a little section and I got some tubs going in that room. And then I had to take out the bed and then it was all filled with tubs. And I've outgrown that area. So pretty much it's in my garage now. I have shelves and, boxes, clear plastic bins from Costco filled with all my clothing, and that fills up a big rack. And then down the middle, I have a couple racks, and that's pretty much my hard good. My clothing's inventoried by number and all that stuff, so it's very easy to look and go and get it. But my hard goods, I need to get some banker's boxes or something. So I need to get it a little more organized. So if like my wife ever had to ship or something, she could find it. I kind of know where all the hard goods are, but I am lacking in a little bit of organization in that department. But yeah, just in the garage and maybe even a storage unit eventually if I just keep outgrowing myself.
So for me, I've had some exponential growth over the last year or two. I started out originally just selling a 2-car garage. That flowed into my office in my house, which flowed into my living room, which flowed into me almost getting divorced. So I
we just become
before he's married. Before he's married.
Yeah. So, but that I eventually ended up moving to. So I always tell people is once your items start affecting your home life or start impacting your living space, it's time to move on to a storage unit. So got a 10 by 10, outgrew that. I got 10 by 15, and I have a 10 by 25 now. So I actually I have a 2-car garage. I have a 10 by 25 storage unit. I have an office, which you can see behind me, starting to get filled up with stuff too. And what I do for me works best is I actually get the storage units that have rolls like the ones you see in restaurants, like the stainless steel storage shelving units, and they have the wheels on the bottom. And I line my whole wall side by side each other, almost like if you went to like an old library, you can slide out the bookshelf. So that way they can slide out. I can maximize my space. I put totes on them. I label all my totes A1, A2, A3, and so on. The next set of shelving units is B1, B2, B3, and so on. I highly recommend using clear totes because it's a lot easier to see when you have spaces that you can stick items in there. When it comes to like my comic books, my high-end items, I keep those in a separate area, what is, climate control. And I have those organized specifically by box number, box 1, box 2, box 3. And then when it comes to our Poshmark store, we actually have an office set up with bins in there, and we actually we bag each piece of clothing, and then we label it with a label maker like 001, 002, and so on. So it's a good way for us to keep track of all of our inventory. And when we do put a listing, we use custom SKUs, so that way we know exactly what room, what area, what storage unit all of our items are in.
Yeah, so my story is kind of similar to everyone else's. We started in the spare bedroom. I knew where it was. I didn't label it. I will tell you that's a mistake if you plan on growing, because those items, some of them have taken years to sell. And then I'm like, crap, where is it? So if you're just beginning and you think you're going to grow, label the stuff now. Even if you know where it is, label it, because as you grow, you might not remember. And I was good till I had about 500 items. I did not have them marked until I had about 500. But some of those original 500 still remain, and I have to really rack my brain. So we went from the spare bedroom to, we have like a den almost. It's like, we call it a fireplace room. It's not the living room, it's separate. That looked like a storage unit. We had shelves lined up in the den. We ended up putting curtains over it to hide it when people came over. And then I bought we actually have an old farmhouse. We have a canning kitchen that's 12 by 24. We closed that in, made that storage, outgrew that, bought a 12 by 24 shed. So I have a lot of land. I have 11 acres, so I could get more sheds if I was so inclined. I am not inclined. Bought the 12 by 24, outgrew that, bought this one that I am in, which is a 12 by 40 with triple lofts. So it has a lot of space. I really wish I had gotten this one first, because then I wouldn't have needed that second one. I could have had it all in one place. Instead, we're having to run and grab inventory from different areas. So as far as organization, since we have 3 different places, one of them is single letters. So it's like Rod said, A1, A2, A3. The second one is double letters. It's AA1, AA2. So we know that it's in there. And then this one, because I'm crazy, everything is X. Like, I don't know where I got that from, but everything is X in here. Instead of being 3 letters, everything is X. So we're up to like X95. Everything in here is banker's boxes. And I did that to make my death pile more manageable. And I did not want to see it because I was handpicking what I wanted to list. So now we grab a box, and whatever the heck is in that box, it gets listed. Whether we want to list it or not, it gets either listed or tossed. So yeah, so now we have 3 areas, and we have just took the spare bedroom and unconverted. It's not a spare bedroom anymore. It is now a whatnot room. So we have went backwards, and now an area in the house is being used again. But we decided Richard actually, Otnip Draw Flips, is the last person who stayed at my house in March of last year. So we don't have guests over a lot. So we decided we were doing whatnot on the kitchen table, and we decided we want the dining area back, and we have moved it into the spare bedroom. So we went a little bit backwards. All right. Tammy sent a $5 super chat, and I think I saw 2 more.
Yeah, I got him.
All right, so let's give Tammy her dolphin real quick. I'm going to go to the Dalton dolphin. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, wait a minute.
Where'd it go?
Hold on.
Oh, here it is. I found it.
You got it? Okay.
Yeah. LK Vintage PA sent a $5 super chat and said, follow up on the cleaning question. Do you add something to the listing that states the item is pre-owned and could need a cleaning?
Is that what it's called, that little section where you add information other than the description? You know what I'm talking about?
Condition.
Oh,
That's the condition.
Condition.
That,
Yeah.
you only see that on the computer, though. You don't see that on the phone.
Yeah, you don't see it on the phone. And I when I'm on the computer, I always fill that up. And I would put pretty much the same thing I'm going to put in my first 2 sentences or 2 lines of my description. Pre-owned, an exit condition, lightly used or used with some wear. Please see description with more information and all photos. So I recap what I said in the description. So that way nothing comes back at me. And it's just good information. Sometimes the more something is out there on your own listing, people get to be more aware of what they're looking at. And it'll be like, okay, well, they did tell me, or I didn't see that before. Now they go see somebody else's listing and they're looking for that too. More information is good. Too much information could be bad, but information that helps people decide that you are better off to go to because you have information rather than somebody that just has a listing with the title and no description. In my opinion, I am pro descriptions.
I am anti descriptions.
And I knew
descriptions too. So
Yeah, well, I put it in the condition. If it's jacked up or needs cleaning or something is wrong with it, I'll note it because I don't want them to order it thinking that it's perfect or great condition and it has a flaw. So I always state if something's iffy with it, I'm stating it. I'm not going to try to hide the fact that something's wrong with it and then they might return it or something. So I might even overstate it so they know.
for me, my title is always my description, unless the item has flaws. That's the only time I'll add additional information to the description. If a box has some type of shelfware or has a crease or dent into it, because a lot of collectors do like high-end boxes, or when I'm doing with clothing, if it has holes, stained, or anything on those lines, that I'm still going to list it because it's still going to be profitable. I will list it and make sure I take a separate picture and then put in the description, please see pictures for more information.
Yeah, so the only time I do a description is if there's a flaw. So if it has a stain or something, I'm going to type that in. Stain, like small stain, medium stain, located like wherever it is. Please see photos, and we make sure to do a specific photo of the flaw. So yeah, I'm not going to sell something dirty. I don't want you guys to like misunderstand that. I am buying stuff that does not need cleaning. So I'm not going to buy something that is dirty. The only things I bought that are dirty, that are worth money, are hats. That's why I said I will wash hats, because hats get like the nasty sweat stains. But I will put like did not try stain removal or something. I put that in a lot of mine, like that I did not try to remove the stain. So if they want to try, they can. But you definitely don't want to try and hide it. You want to under promise and over deliver. You know, I would want to make it seem worse than it is versus better than it is. And here is your dolphin. And then we have one more super chat. Here you go. Dun, 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 dun. Miss Catherine sent a $5 super sticker. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Here is your dolphin. All right. Another one from Canada, eh? Thank you. I appreciate it, Miss Melissa. Thanks so much. Here is your dolphin. Dun, 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 dun. All right. With this question for Miss Barbara, who sent me presents a while ago. She sent my daughter a present as myself. I am horrible. I will tell you, I'm horrible at opening mail from the P.O. box because 95% of it is returns. So buried in the returns today, I got Miss Barbara. Miss Barbara, I want to say thank you. And I messed and whatnot. How does 60K feel? It feels good. I was refreshing so much, I think my finger hurt there for about a day and annoying the crap out of my husband. He's like, okay, already. But it feels great. I'm super happy about it. I'm gonna start the giveaway. So I want you guys to put in, let's see if I can share the screen. #celebration. #celebration. So let me see if I can figure out how to put this thing up here. How do I do this? This, share. Is it sharing? Okay, so there's 0 entries, guys.
I'm joining.
So #celebration. There are 350 people in here. I am giving away a $60 Amazon gift card. I'm going to give another one away at some point tonight. So let's see how many we can get to. How many entries? They're going up. They're going up fast. And what I want you to do is email me, and then I will get you your Amazon gift card.
And I entered as well, and if you pick my name and I win, I will double it.
What?
Yep.
Now everybody's going to want Rod to win.
If I win, I am not applying that. I need it for my thrift.
Honey's going to triple it, guys. Did you hear that?
Hell no.
So I'm like the bonus spot on the wheel. So if it lands on me, I will double it and we'll rerun it.
Here's the cool thing.
If I win, is going to one of the nonprofits inside the thrift store where Mikey and I
that
have
would be cool.
The Reseller
cool.
Cartel Boutique.
And I see a ton of hashtag celebration on Facebook. The cool thing about the StreamYard giveaway tool is it collects comments from Facebook and YouTube.
Oh,
so Facebook people are entered as well, which is really cool. Yeah. This is the first time I've used it.
I see some people doing double, triple, quadruple, quintuplet. One time, folks.
Well, it only counts once, but I mean, it maybe you're trying to give you it. Maybe you're trying to get more entries. Richard says Rod's supposed to quadruple it. Listen, Richard.
If Richard wins, he's going to give one of his acres of his 7 acres away.
Kevin says hashtag I love Sonny.
Hashtag I love you back.
He really didn't say that. He said your hair is so sexy.
Nice. I can't wait to meet Kevin. He's going to come down in April with the guys, Dave, and they're going to have another Trash to Cash podcast.
Yeah, Kevin is awesome. I've met Kevin a few times. Kevin is great.
All
right, guys, I guess we'll get, there's almost 400 people in here, guys. Hashtag celebration. I'm giving away $60 Amazon gift card. Everybody could use, unless you're anti-Amazon, I don't know why you would not enter, right? Why would you not enter? Hashtag celebration.
And you got to hit the thumbs up.
Yes, and hit the thumbs up and share with all of your friends. You can wait till after the giveaway if you don't want to lessen your chances. I won't hate you for that. It's okay. We'll wait until they're slowing down. Angela says it's hers. She's claiming it. I see everybody. Miss Constance is feeling lucky. They're trying to manifest. They're trying to manifest a win.
I wish that would work when I go to get scratch tickets and it hits the billions, but it never works.
Like, come on, million. I just saw a thing on my phone, like, you know, the news that pops up on your main screen. It said like an 18-year-old bought their first lottery ticket and won like $48 million. I'm like, oh, that's nice.
I don't hate people, but I might start changing that now.
We have
Richard says he won't win.
We have 387 people in the chat and only 174 entered. Guys, enter that.
Let's try and get to 200. 200 entries and I will draw it. Kevin, look, I got to show you. See all the Tupperware? I have a Tupperware haul over there. That's just for Kevin.
Now you're talking dirty, Dome.
Up today. Talking Kevin's language. All right, 179. Hashtag celebration if you're on Facebook or YouTube. Facebook or YouTube. Then you can hashtag celebration and enter. 182. 18 more people.
Hit the thumbs up.
Hit the thumbs up. If you were just coming in, we're giving away a $60 Amazon gift card for hitting. I hit 60K followers this week on YouTube.
Congratulations.
See, Miss Kathy needs the money for her puppy to get toys.
Man, we're gonna have a hard time finding these questions now.
No, I don't think there have been any since we said that. I've been watching. Watching it. 3 more, guys, and I'll draw the winner. 2 more. Thank you, Pame. Thank you.
One more.
I'm watching it. And then we'll draw it. Oh, whoa, 205. All right, let's go, guys. Let's see who's going to win. Who is it going to be? Catherine P.
Congrats.
You are the winner. Let me write it down. Catherine P. Email me thenurseflipper@yahoo.com.
Whoa. Good little dot.
What was that?
I think Don Vibes came in.
Catherine P. The nurse flipper at yahoo.com, Miss Catherine. Yeah, Kevin. Yeah. All right. Let me unshare my screen share. All right. Congrats to Miss Catherine. I am going to give away one more before the end of the show. I will give away another $60 Amazon gift card before the end of the show. Yay, Miss Catherine P says, wow. Got it.
Congrats.
All right. So let's see. Shanae's Closet says, after you began cross-listing, how long did it take before you saw increased sales?
Mine was, I think, within 2 or 3 days when I started using List Perfectly. And there's a rumor going around that I work with List Perfectly. I do not. I just happened to win a tablet from them when I needed one the most because my computer was
I remember
going out.
that.
Yeah, and I just shared their information because of the support I got from them, and they've had me on podcasts and stuff. But it worked right away, and what I was able to sell with the 1 month free from them, which why I'm saying it. Kat, you have a link, right? List Perfectly.
Yeah, the nurse flipper for 30% off.
We're on Kat's channel, so you could use her affiliate. But if you want to use mine,
Thank you, Sonny. Thank you for your permission.
Mikey's, Sonny Las Vegas, or Mikey Bags of Money, I'm pretty sure that's my affiliate link. But I would go on theirs if you can't afford to get one. I have had messages like that too. And I know some of my stories are long, but sometimes you need to hear the full story. So a person ended up messaging me saying, I wish I could use List Perfectly. I know it would help me. And sometimes you need that little help, that little extra that you can't get yourself because of your own obstacles that you're facing. So this person ended up following List Perfectly and supporting them, liking and resharing information. And lo and behold, they won a free month of List Perfectly. And they've been using that ever since because of their items have been selling on these other platforms that they're on, and it saves a lot of time. So time costs money, and also it could save you money when all it takes is a few seconds and let it pay for itself just by showing a little bit of support, which is why I'm really big on the thumbs up because it helps resellers as well. But it took me just a few days, and that item that sold for $110, if I recollect, on Mercari, but I had it on eBay for around 3 months. No bites, very few watchers, and it sold right away, full asking price. No offers sent to me, and that told me everything right there.
Yeah, when I started cross posting, I started doing it with List Perfectly also. Way back in the day, I had a bunch of women's clothing, and it really wasn't selling on eBay. It's before I even studied sell-through rates or even knew a whole bunch about anything. When I thought mall brands were awesome. And I knew I had this big pile of women's clothing, and I thought that I could get it going on Poshmark. So I first started manually copying and pasting, and it took forever. It was horrible. I was like, there's got to be something better. And that's kind of like right when that came around. So I started using that, and I get sales on Poshmark on the regular. And I swear when I first started doing it, some of the eBay ones would sell, like they knew I was cross posting it. So I was like, they're just putting it out there more until it sells. Superstitious, weird stuff, like when you touch the item, it sells. But I was cross posting them, and they're selling off eBay. So I definitely like it. I mean, there's different people with different takes on it, but I think if you have one-off unique items, the more places it's at, the better chance it has to sell quicker. So yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong, I think, with cross posting.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. I just started using List Perfectly, and I got sales the first week from cross listing. But another good thing is that you can set up drafts in there, and those drafts can be used as templates. And those template drafts have saved so much time for clothing, especially for my fiance, because she lists stuff on Poshmark and she cross lists the eBay and Mercari for me. So it actually has saved a lot of time, has made things very easy for us. So I would highly recommend using this Perfectly.
Yeah, I'm going to echo that. Like, it started immediately for me. And with a lot of the platforms, I've noticed that, like Mercari, and when I was on Facebook Marketplace, I'm not anymore. When my mom cross posts, the sales would come fast, like within a day. Like I'd get hit with a bunch of them. And then she only cross posts 3 days a week. So the days she's cross posting, I see more sales than the days she's not. So I saw them quite a bit, and I wanted to highlight Joe's saying the same thing. She saw increased sales right away. It definitely, I agree. It pays for itself. I don't work for them either, but I've used them for 2 years exclusively. I've been on a podcast with them as well. And they're really an excellent company founded by resellers. And it's worth it for sure. Mark is in the house, OG&Z. Mark and I last week got to go thrifting. We went thrifting down outside of Orlando, and the time flew. We went to breakfast. I think we talked too long because we didn't get to thrift very long. So I have video, but I'm not sure if I'm going to put it out. We didn't find too much. Mark bought nothing. Mark is like anti-buying. I told him he's got to like start buying some stuff, or but I found one really cool thing I'm hoping to get a few $100s for. So Mark is late, so he's paying his late fee, and I'm going to give him the original dolphin. Super chat. Super chat.
We got another one.
Oh, grab it.
There you
go. Amy over at Edge City Traders sent a $4.99 super chat. Amy is awesome. Amy went to my reseller camp. So I've met Amy, Edge City Traders, in person. And Amy keeps buying from me. The last 2 Mondays, I have shipped out stuff to Amy from my eBay store. So Amy, thank you so much for all your support. I really, really appreciate it. Here is your dolphin. Dun, 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 dun. It's Mr. Bob. Mr. Bob says, hi, Kat. Do you list a certain number of items per day, or make sure you list every day with the amount of listings fluctuating? So I'm going to answer this question honestly and tell you I have not listed daily since September. And the reason for that is my concentration is going to Whatnot. So I hired an assistant at the end of December, and she's here 5 days a week. So last week she was off. She got hurt at her other job. So no listings went up, 0. Actually 2. The 2 dolls I got on clearance at Walmart, I listed for the whole week. So when she is here, what I do is I just put up the drafts that she made. So she makes the drafts, I price them, I edit the title. So she typically does 10 to 15 on Mondays, because we pack so much on Mondays. It's really, really busy. There's not much time for listing. And then the rest of the days she does 20 to 30 a day. And what I do on Friday is I split those listings into Saturday and Sunday. So as long as she's here, we are getting up between 10 and 25 a day on average. So eBay has kind of taken a back seat to Whatnot because I am making more money on Whatnot. So we do 6 shows a week live on Whatnot now, which takes about 8 hours a show, if not a little bit more. And that just doesn't leave much time when you have family and other stuff going on, which is why I hired an assistant. So, what I used to say when I was mainly doing eBay was I like to, and I know Kevin says this too, Commonwealth, list the amount of items that you want to get in sales a day. So I would like to have $500 in sales a day. So $500 in listings a day, whether that's 2 items or 10 items, would be my goal. However, I have not paid that close of attention to it. And my eBay sales reflect that. They do reflect it. They have went down. But that is what I would do. Miss Jackie says, what do you sell for Valentine's Day and St. Patrick's Day?
I always forget about the seasons, and I need to be better at having a calendar and being ahead of events like this, because they do matter. They do fall into place, and there's people that want to look for items. And if they've been following you on, say, eBay or whatever platform you're on, they're probably going to want to support you more than somebody else because they know how you ship, what kind of items you're giving them. But I am really bad at keeping up with things like this. I try my best, but then I just forget about it.
Yeah, for sure. I don't sell on I don't like pick up anything specifically for the holidays like Valentine's Day or St. Patrick's Day. But this Valentine's Day, I will be married 20 years to my wonderful wife. So shout out to Supercourt.
Shout out to Supercourt.
Yes. And yeah, so
Do we want to say it on here?
Who? What? I don't know what we want.
The Mikey T-shirt day, Mikey shirt day.
Oh, that's you, Sonny. I'm not good at self promotion, but
that's why we're here, Mikey. You're a YouTuber. That's what you're supposed to do.
I'm trying to get better at it, but my birthday is February 21st, and Sonny and myself, we want to put on like a Mikey shirt day because people know me and associate me with my cool shirts. I got my Dino shirt on right now. So yeah, coming February 21st, my birthday, a week after my 20th anniversary, Mikey shirt day. So
yeah. So to cut in and talk about this, so it's weird as being a content creator how things become you and not you become things. It's weird. For me, has been my hair. For Mikey, has been his shirt along with some of the sayings that he has. I call them Mikeyisms. And it's just funny how a content creator works, where people look at you for certain things and just you lift them up. So I've caught on to this, and I've pushed certain things when Mikey says stuff, and he just one time says something like the reseller cartel, and it becomes more than that. Come to find out, somebody Kat mentioned earlier, Kevin Commonwealth. Mikey said it actually came from him, but I've ran with Reseller Cartel, which ended up becoming the name of our boutique. And with his shirts that he finds, they're just amazing shirts. People love them. He even has his own selection of his Mikey shirts inside the store. And there's more to Mikey Shirt Day. We want people in the community who come across this, start using the hashtag Mikey Shirt Day. And if we could get them sooner, we want to collect the photos. Either you email or use them on your own, tag us on Instagram, and we're going to have a collage and just share them with other people. But we also want to have a meetup, maybe in our boutique. If you're in Vegas or happen to be visiting Vegas at the time, maybe we could go thrifting somewhere and we could share with you if you need to learn about stuff. It'll be more of you and just having a good time with us as a group and the community. So there's more to it than just Mikey Shirt Day. But at the same time, his Super Courts or his birthday, their anniversary, and the 21st of February was also when we met Kristen for the first time. And at the bins, and Mikey and I shared some 805s in the parking lot at the bins. So there's stories to what we got going on. And I hope this becomes like a new tradition of Mikey Shirt Day and encourage a lot of people to start things and grow it outside of just reselling and videos, folks, because there's so much of us that need to connect the dots with one another. And I'm just glad to be part of this community that I cherish. And I'm glad to know Mikey and to be putting these kind of things on him, because he just looks at it and he's like, I don't want to do that. He's very to himself, not a complete hermit, but I'm more of, as you see, the people person and like, no, Mikey, let's do this because people love you. And I want to show you. I didn't have this in the past. And I know I talk a lot, but I didn't have this in the past where I could share my voice. And I feel so comfortable because of many of you who let me feel free of me being myself and just want to share love to everybody. And that's all a part of this one day that I hope continues every year after this, a Mikey Shirt Day, like everybody has like a National Donut Day. Well, now I brought and introduce Mikey Shirt Day. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Well, back to the question. So for me, I sell everything, and so it just matters what items I get in. So I don't really focus on selling Valentine's Day or St. Patty's Day items. I did recently pick up a massive. It's gonna be a really cool video. Going to drop in a couple of weeks. I got like 14 totes of like Disney items that have been sitting in storage for 27 years. But inside one of the boxes, I did find some 1980s Disney Valentine's Day cards. So I made sure to put those up right away, and they actually sold the first week. They were up for like $25. So, but it just depends what you get. That's, I don't really focus on getting items for those days. It's just what I come across.
Yeah, and I don't sell anything particular for it. And I feel like it's just like Christmas. Like if it's super collectible, that Valentine's and St. Patty's Day will sell year round. Like I bet Rod's vintage Mickey Valentine's would have sold if it was December or July. So I don't list according to including Christmas. We list Christmas year round and it sells year round. So I don't do anything special for that either. Miss Lisa sent a $10 super sticker. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. Here is your dolphin. I see another one. Miss Pam Pamela sent a $1.99 super chat and said, thanks for all your teaching. You are so welcome. I'm happy to help. I love teaching. I feel like I kind of found my groove with that. So I appreciate it. Here is your dolphin. Rod, we clicked that at the exact same second. Did you see it?
No,
you turned it on and I turned it off. We highlight your questions, and Rod, I think, clicked one and I clicked it and then it went off. And I don't know.
I just clicked the last one. That was it.
Yeah, I clicked it and it went off and I had to click it back on. Like we clicked it at like the same exact second. Same second. Miss Sue wants to know, have you ever sold anything that left you on the negative on that item?
What was the last negative? I remember my first negative, which isn't too common. Well, before the world shut down, I was averaging a return request 1 every 100 sales, and I felt like that was pretty good. But I was able to combat it back, and eBay would be on my side. But one person ended up leaving me a negative feedback that bothered me, and I didn't know I could do anything about it. What I learned from it is that it's really good when you have a negative feedback to reply to that comment, as in, say, for example, this person said, oh, your things was too expensive for the condition of the item. Well, I know I put the condition and everything and had quality photos and wasn't trying to filter out any flaws or blemishes. And the description was pretty on point of every little thing mentioned. And I've even had, I think on Instagram layout or iPhone layout, you could have different collages of photos. So I even had in the description to say, look at the last photo with everything that I'm mentioning for the flaws. So this person ended up sending me an offer for this hat with everything already listed. They should be looking at it. So from what I learned in the negative feedbacks, that for this person that came up, I put, you sent your offer. I didn't fight your offer. I accepted it. If you have any, if you want to return the item, feel free to do that. And they never did. So it let people know that my stuff was okay. And I even got comments of orders after that that tells me that they were seeing these comments and put laughing out loud. My thing was, my item was packaged perfectly. And I had like 5 comments like that, which tells me they were looking at these comments, which is weird. But it also taught me that people are looking into this stuff and know that some people are just rude and they want to support you. So it's almost like feedback on your comments when you get a negative one, and your fans and people who know the real you are going to support you. So comment back on that stuff, but in a professional way, nothing that's going to come back and now they could use it against you. And if you feel like it's against you, use eBay. Say, hey, this is unfair. This is what happened, and see who they pick. It's not always going to be in your favor, but you'll learn from it how to do things better next time to prevent it. Be proactive.
Sonny, I think she means like negative, like money wise.
Oh, no.
If you want to answer that.
No, I'll stick with that. That's one of my flaws in reading this stuff too. I never had anything left negative on that.
Yeah, I've definitely sold some stuff in the negative. Some stuff that I underestimated shipping early on that I just didn't put enough on there, and I've still sent it out because I did that. And also, one of the best examples of when I sold something that was in the negative, I think I was sending out offers and I missed decimal place something, and I sent out like $1 or $2. I don't remember what it was. And they immediately accepted it, and I honored it. It wasn't like a huge expensive thing, but I was like, I sent out that offer. Someone wanted to take that, and I just accepted it. When you sell like hundreds or thousands of items, 1 or 2 missteps or anything really isn't that big deal in the end. So I sell a lot of items. Mistakes happen once in a while with the bigger things, or sometimes you just ship something and they want to return it and you tell them just to keep it because you don't want to basically buy it back for the shipping cost because it didn't sell for a long time, or it's just not a hot item. It's stuff I wouldn't buy again. So yeah, it happens, but no biggie. When you sell a whole bunch of items, sometimes you take a loss. No worries for me.
Yeah, pretty much just what he said. When you buy out, so I buy out a lot of massive collections and I buy out a lot of items. And when you do that, you factor in, you're going to take some losses along the way, and you factor those into your sales prices. And, it gets to a point where, I've been selling on eBay for 20 years. I have literally want to put something on a scale and it was like leaning against a table or a wall to help support it. And so it threw off my weight. So I took a loss on that. I made all kind of mistakes where I misled it. I sent out offers for the wrong amount before, and I just had to eat those. So real similar to that. I would say the only time though that I on purpose will take a loss on an item, if I had an item that's been sitting in my store that hasn't sold, and let's just say I paid $50 for it, I just want to get rid of it, to move it out of my inventory. So I'll sell it for 25, $30. I'll take 60 cents on the dollar to recoup that money to minimize my loss and just move on. So that's probably the only reason why nowadays I take a big loss or take a small loss on an item, but those are few and far between.
Yeah. So for me, lately, my Harley parts, I paid way too much, and most of them are break even or a small loss. But like Rod said, I'm happy to sell them and get the money back, and I won't make that mistake again. And then the other thing was a McFarlane toy, and I'm not familiar with toys, and I was comping them, and I didn't realize there were 7-inch ones and 18-inch ones. So when I researched the price on 18-inch ones, and I got a 6-inch one, so it was worth right at what I paid for it. So I was negative in my fees. So be careful if you're not in your own genre or what I don't know toys, and I didn't know these toys came in 2 different sizes. So I was looking at a completely different one. But again, you're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna lose money, whether it's you've had it too long, you want to let it go. Like everybody said, there's different ways, but I wouldn't concentrate on that. I would concentrate on the overall picture and not get yourself down, because it happens. It doesn't matter how long you've been doing it. You're going to have some losses along the way. Miss Angela sent a $9.99 super sticker. Thank you so much. Here is your Dalton Dolphin. I don't know if I've seen Gino tonight. Gino, are you in here? Gino from Gino's Finds made my 2 new super chats for me.
I haven't seen him in here earlier.
Okay, so Gino, if you're still here, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Rocks to be me wants to know if anybody has boosted ads on Facebook Marketplace, and if so, do you think there's an advantage?
I haven't used Facebook Marketplace, nor am I familiar with the platform, how to use it like that, so can't answer it.
Yeah, I haven't used boosted ads. I sell some stuff on Marketplace, but I always see boost your post and all that stuff. I've never boosted any post. It never sounds like that great of a bargain, like $10 for 169 people. I'm like, I don't know. So no familiar, not even wanting to hit the button at that price to boost the post. Rod?
So I haven't done it for actual items. I've done it for other things, such as when we were doing pro wrestling shows and I was wrestling shows, I would post the flyer up and then promote to the local area. So it does help boost. It did get a lot more impressions. Did it have a lot more people show up? I mean, I don't know if it's targeting the right demographic at that point in time, but I know we definitely got a lot more impressions from it. But impressions don't always equal sales as well. So.
Yeah, and I am banned on Facebook Marketplace, so I can't even post, let alone boost a post. When I could post, I did not boost them, though. I did not boost them. Miss Vicky wants to know, how can you find sold comps if the item isn't listed? She said it has sales, so I'm assuming she means there are some listed but no sold comps.
Sometimes it's weird with eBay. You think because if you put in a title, just say Sunny Las Vegas, and you put it all under caps, you would think in general everything under Sunny Las Vegas would pop up. But if you change the caps or even change the words around, then things start populating up. So some things are a little weird on eBay, and I think it's the more they're trying to perfect things, some things are making it a little difficult to pop up. But if you know that you're looking at something that may be quality or unique, especially with a name that you're familiar with and nothing else is listed, I feel like you have every right to, I call it fishing, where you throw out a big price and you're hoping for somebody to reel in and say, hey, I'll buy it for that price. Or they shoot you an offer for something a little less. And it all comes down to what you're comfortable with, how much you paid for it, how much profits you want to make for it. But if you're getting offers right off the bat, those some people that messaged me, like this morning, I got an offer that for $55 for a hat, right? And I wanted $80 something for it because I had it listed high, but I only paid $10 for 2 hats of the same brand. So when they denied my counter from their $55, which started at $35. That's a big jump for me. Um, After they declined, they private messaged me and said, "Hey, if you're willing to work with me on a price, I would like to pay for the hat." And I said, "You know what? I'll go back and change the price to your $55 offer and accept it." So I ended up doing that too. So sometimes they'll private message you or ask you in the messages, and you could do that yourself when you counter, say on eBay. Say, leave a message in there saying, "Hey, I appreciate your offer, but if you could work with me something a little closer, more than what you have." Communication is key. Sometimes it doesn't work out, as we all know. And this time I'm glad it did for something that I bought $5 for.
All right, and then if you can't find sold comps on eBay, then you got to just look on the other sites, Poshmark, push it in Google. I know there's WorthPoint. I don't subscribe to WorthPoint. Like if your item's like a little more rare and doesn't get sold a lot, it's going to be in WorthPoint or one of those data collection scrapping sites. Or if you belong to some groups in reselling, you can pose a question there, and sometimes they'll be able to at least let you know the value or more information.
So eBay will only go back, if you have a regular eBay account, can only go back 90 days on sales. If you have an eBay store, you can use Therapy, can go back 2 years now and actually search 2 years of comps on eBay. And then if you, like he said about WorthPoint, WorthPoint is great, especially if you start selling or if you're buying a lot of high-end items or items that don't have a lot of comps. WorthPoint goes back 10 years of data. So it's a good, an area to try to find out. Mikey made a great point though too. There's a lot of Facebook groups out there that will help identify items, and not only identify them, but at least give you a price range on it. And so those are good starting points to go through. And if none of those, are able to get you a price point, my theory is always list super high and put best offer on and let the price come to you, reel them in. And then if you're not getting any bites in, then you can just gradually reduce that price and the listing, sell similar, and just relist as a new listing with a new price point on it and just work that way.
Yeah, so for me, I think everybody knows I use WorthPoint because I have a lot of rare one-off items, and WorthPoint goes back 10 years. If you can't find them, also make sure you're not putting in too many words. Put in less words, because somebody might not have all of those words in their title. So even on WorthPoint, when I can't find something, I'll take a word out, like whether it's a color of an item or a size or something like that, and you might be able to find it that way. And if you can't find it, then I look for something very similar, either like the same type, the same brand. When it comes to souvenir stuff, which I love to do, stuff from that city, you'll see if stuff from that place sells low or does it sell high, and kind of give you an idea of where to be at. But I agree with Rod. Like if you're in doubt, you really can't find it, price high. I agree with Mikey too. I don't ever look on Posh though. I do find stuff on Etsy when I do Google. Etsy seems to come up a lot when I'm trying to search for Google, but most times I can find it on either eBay or WorthPoint. And you got to be careful with that if you're new, because it might not be there because it's not worth selling. Not often, but when I was new, if I couldn't find it, I wouldn't pick it up, because if you can't comp it, it might not be worth what you're paying for it. So be very, very careful with that. Sonny, can you take this question?
Is Sonny the next dark-haired Fabio? Think about it. I'll get back to you on that one.
Scott Cha-Ching King. Thank you so much, Scott. Scott is amazing. He is a great teacher as well. He spoke with me at my second Nurse Flipper camp in person. Great guy, amazing, amazing teacher. So definitely check Mr. Scott out. He is a great guy. He's funny too. He's obviously. All right. Scott gets the original super chat. Here you go. Super chat. Miss Val was at my eBay camp too. Look at all my eBay camp people in the house tonight. Miss Val was at my eBay camp too. Miss Val says, I just lost $8 on the first pair of shoes I bought to flip. I know better now. That's the thing, guys. You pay to learn. You pay to learn. Just remember and don't do it again, or try not to. She said, Sonny is the nicest, kindest person, and he and Mikey are funny as a bonus. So she is promoting for them. Miss Val, thank you so much. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. Here's your dolphin. Dun, 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 dun. Camille coming in with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Here is your Dalton on a dolphin. Dun, 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 dun. Yay, Gino. All right. Next question is not a question. I highlighted this because I wanted to remind you guys. Richard's been dropping it in the link. Mark II's accounting course. Last week was $100 off. So this week it's still $75 off. So if you're interested in it, super informative. Will teach you anything you need to know about reseller accounting. And I mean that. I've taken his course. It is so detailed. You will come away with a ton of knowledge. Great course. He also is doing a free webinar, and I will post that on my community feed. He's doing a free webinar, I think this weekend. So I'll post that link for you guys. He's going to do a Q&A on his channel. So I'll post that on my community page probably tomorrow. He emailed it to me today. Sapphire wants to know, what do you think of the opinion of some resellers that listing on multiple platforms is not a good idea and to just focus on one?
I like I mentioned earlier, if you weren't here earlier, I use List Perfectly and list on multiple platforms. I feel like you should do what you could afford to do. You don't know until you try yourself. Although we're resellers and we try to learn the same information off of each other from, say, YouTube and other platforms, we still come across different things. And that's the reason why I share my content, is because maybe it'll help you source smoother. Because I've learned all of this on my own until about 2 years into it, when I realized there's a YouTube community out here that could help me, and it helped me tremendously. I've come a long way since then. But I would say, if you're already big enough and you're finding it hard for one platform not to be enough and things are sitting around, maybe you should try List Perfectly. Kat has your affiliation link too. I'm going to keep plugging that in, but I would say give it a try. Some people I know have said, I would never use List Perfectly. It's something that they charge for. Well, you're always going to have to pay for something. But again, I sold a hat that sold for $110 in 3 days when it was sitting on eBay for 3 months. So that platform, if I've never used it, I wouldn't have bothered looking at, say, Mercari until probably months later. So it's helped me beneficially. On average, my Mercari items that sell are usually like from $50 to $110. And these are items that have been sitting around on eBay and I think Etsy and a couple of other sites. So it's helped because now it's just convenient to list on one platform and add little tweaks to each platform that goes. Time costs money, folks. If you don't witness it or experience it yourself, you're not going to know, and you shouldn't always take people's word for it. That's why I say give it a try.
Yeah, and people's opinion that think some resellers listing on multiple platforms is not a good idea, that's their opinion. Everyone's entitled to it. It's a good opinion. Everyone, though, is in a different boat. If you're selling iPhones, you don't need to cross list. You can put it on eBay and sell it all day long. You'll be wasting your time. And if you have one-off items that are very rare and you want to wait for them to sell and a little longer, just post them on eBay and wait till their sell-through rate goes through. You'll sell it when you want to sell it. But if you have those one-off items and you want to have a little more exposure, a better chance for them to sell a little quicker, you could definitely list on multiple platforms and you might get a sell faster than you would on eBay. Now, that's all I think the cross-listing is best for, is just turning your money faster. If you can list and wait and it doesn't matter when your money comes,
so be it.
Focusing probably on one site would be ideally best, for sure. But everyone gets to do what they want to do. That's what I like about reselling, is you can do it however you want. People might have opinions, but it doesn't matter. You get to choose what you get to do.
Different strokes, different folks. You have to do what's best for you and best for your business. For many years, I sold on one platform only. And then there's times I sold on 3-4 platforms and then went back to one platform. So it just depends where you are in your business, where you are in your life, and what works best for you. I would say if you only sell on one platform, if you are looking to expand, don't try to sell on multiple platforms at one time. Just try one other platform. figure that one out, then add a third platform, then add a fourth platform. But sometimes people jump in starting out on one platform, then jump to 4 or 5 right away. They get confused, they get frustrated because they haven't mastered, they don't know what's going on, they get negative feedback. It's going to end up hurting your business. So I recommend, if you're still a new seller and you want to start selling on another platform, get a cross-listing program like List Perfectly. It does work great. Start out on one platform, one extra platform, see how you like it, and then start expanding once you get down to your belt. Then start expanding to more platforms and go from there. It's the only way, though, you're really going to be able to level up your business to the next level is by, it's like put it on social media. More places people see your stuff, the more sales you have potentially to get. If people on eBay are going to see it, people that don't shop on eBay aren't going to be able to buy that item. So it's having more views in more places is always going to help out your business.
Yeah. So I will tell you, as someone who has been suspended on 3 platforms, if you are a full-time reseller, being on one platform is a very bad idea because you need a way to pay your bills. So I think, just like Mikey said, you're definitely entitled to your own opinion. I am, and I saw Amy said it and a couple of other people. I agree, you should master one platform before adding another one. You definitely, whether it's Poshmark, eBay, Mercari, Etsy, whatever it is, master one of them and feel comfortable, start getting regular sales, and then branch out. But if it's your only income or you depend on that income to pay bills, then you need a backup, because you can search YouTube for all, you'll see I've gotten suspended on eBay. I am permanently banned from Facebook Marketplace. I've got kicked off Mercari, and it was all like stupid little mistakes, but that's how I pay my bills. So since I have all those listings on the other platforms, I could put more time into them. Like, I don't put a lot of time into hashtags on Poshmark, Mercari, Etsy, but I guarantee you if I got banned on eBay, Lynn would be hashtagging all of my 5,000 listings on the platforms. So you need a backup. If you're full-time, you need something else. Once you master it, you need to master your main platform first, and then you need to get more. I wanted to, where did it go? Darn it. Oh, Sonny, Miss Barbara would like you to do the hairdo move so she can swoon. There you go, Miss Barbara. Sunshine wants to know what all of us personally collect.
Ooh, too much stuff. But I'm getting better with how Mikey said earlier. He's not a collector, he's a reseller, and I'm pushing things away slowly but surely. I get connected to stuff because I didn't have a childhood like that. So for me, my want is different out of things that I buy. Sometimes it's more touching to me and I appreciate it. But now I'm learning, like, okay, I appreciate things, but I also want my space back. So that's why I've been getting back to listing and selling stuff, because too much clutter could really overwhelm you. And my wife is now calling me a hoarder. So I'm going to show her that's not true.
Yeah, I'm collecting shirts. I mean, I just keep buying them, finding them. I'm very picky, but I just keep collecting them, adding to my collection. And I don't think I can ever have enough. I mean, I like to wear different shirts on my videos, and I'm putting out 3 videos a week. That's 3 shirts a week. That's adds up pretty quick to come out with fresh new Hawaiian shirts all the time. So I am a repeater. It's happened, but I just need to go out there and work a little harder, collect more shirts. That's probably the only thing I collect. Basketball jerseys I do too. I used to find them more in the thrift stores, but they're getting harder to find, and I don't like paying up. So yeah, mostly tops.
So I like the process of collecting a lot of things, and then once I complete my collection, I usually sell it off. That's been something I've done throughout the years. I like the process more than actual like having to show off. But I'm a huge video game fan. I have about 2,000 video games I collect, mostly older stuff like NES, Super Nintendo. I also collect graded comic books. So I have a whole collection of graded comic books. I like more of the high-end stuff. If you see all the horror movie posters behind me, I'm a huge horror movie fan. So anything horror related and vintage toys. Like, I like the old wrestling toys, like the LJNs from the 80s, Ninja Turtles, Ghostbuster stuff. And then recently, in the past year or two, something I actually talked to Commonwealth Picker a lot. we both collect VHS, and I collect high seal graded VHS tapes. So I actually find them out in the wild, and then oh yeah, there you go. And I find them out in the wild. It's at yard sales, flea markets, and thrift stores. And again, graded. This actually is a 10 grade, which is a super high on the seal in the box. So, but stuff like this, I find out in the wild, and then stuff get graded. It's such a joy to me, and it brings me back to my childhood. So.
Yeah, so it's funny. If you asked me this a year ago, I would have told you nothing. And now I have a couple of things that I collect. One is little sand paintings, like the Native American sand paintings. I absolutely love those. I have some up here on my desk. And then I've also started collecting raku pottery. So I have some like on my nightstand. I have little like pocket raku pottery pieces with like inspirational sayings on them. But anything that's worth selling, I'm probably going to sell. Except for those things. But if I got like, I have a sand painting worth $500. It is posted. I'm not collecting that. My husband knows if I find stuff and it's worth over like $20, he doesn't get to keep it. Like it's getting listed. So I don't have a problem with like letting stuff go at all. The only thing, like I'm obsessed with pens. I'm not going to lie. I have like tons of pens. I don't collect them. I just like them. So I have a lot of them. I think that's kind of a nurse thing because we like pens. So I have a lot of pens. But yeah, other than that, before it was nothing, but now I do have the sand paintings and the raku pottery. I wanted to put this up and say congrats to Scrappy Stamper. Opened eBay store this week. Did the math and thought it made sense. Yes, get more listed for sure. Congrats on opening your store. That is absolutely amazing. And yeah, that's the time when it makes sense to open it, when it's going to save you money for opening it. Sonny would like to know, Mikey, what are you drinking?
I was just drinking some coffee out of my recycled Starbucks glass.
Perfect.
Nothing exciting.
Sonny says, not that Sonny, a different Sonny. Sonny says, since GSP is no longer available, which international shipping do you use for higher priced items?
Which international shipping? You know what? I haven't looked at that after I saw the, I guess, email like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So I probably need to look more into it. I don't have an answer for that other than thank you for reminding me so I could look more into it.
Yeah, for sure. I'm same boat with Sonny. I don't know exactly what the changes are, what went away, or anything like that. That's why I watch great shows like this to get information. Rod?
So for me, I still have GSP. So I can still ship internationally through the global shipping program. I have not been moved over to the other one yet. So I still have it. So when that happens, I'll deal with it then. But right now, I'm still shipping the other way.
I think that's where I'm at too. I don't.
Yeah. I haven't put anything GSP because I haven't listed anything that's been like super expensive. I'm okay up to like a $50, $100 cost shipping standard international. So I haven't high dollar items lately. So everything has been going just standard international for me. We already got that one. Richard wants to know, when you run sales, do you uncheck new listings?
You run sales, do you uncheck your listings? Yeah, I don't do it on new listings. If I do, it's unintentional. I just accidentally hit all, knowing I shouldn't do that, and then I just let it be. But I do my best to have it more on the older items and not the things that I know that are sought out for and are hot items that I would say best described.
Yeah, for sure. When I first put out my listings, I don't like to put them on sale. I like to marinate them at the regular price and then put them on sale afterwards.
So when you actually run sales at the very top of it, there's a feature that allows you to put the amount of days it's been on eBay. So I don't run sales on any items that are under 30 days listed on eBay. So now I actually break it down to different categories. I'll do 30 to 60, a certain price point, 60 to 90, and anything from 90 to whenever I put a higher percentage on. So then that way you can, what items that you want to discount. And then there's certain items in there I'll uncheck because I might have a high-end collector with like a graded comic book that I know that might sit on eBay for 4 to 6 months or a year before it sells. I don't want to discount it because I'm just waiting for the new movie trailer to drop, or I'm just waiting for some new news to come out. So there's certain items like that I will uncheck.
Yeah, so I price up to run my sales so I don't uncheck anything. So really everything's on sale about 5 to 10% off, even though it says more. I know, Richard, I know this, but I can't, like, you have to request it from Gino. Gino is my super chat man now. He like branded himself that. So Richard wants to see Brad riding a dolphin. That would be interesting to say the least. All right, Richard, you get the original. You get the original dolphin. Super chat. Where did it go? Where did it go? I can't find it. Oh, here. So Miss Barbara said, "Thank you, Sonny." Her husband just picked her up off the floor, so he made her swoon. I saw somebody ask what their channels are. So you can see them up here on the screen now. Mikey Bags of Money, Sunny Las Vegas, Rod is Picking and Punching. And all of the links to their channels are down in the description, as well as the moderators have been putting them in the chat as well. Richard also wants to know, oh, hold on, where his room is. Sorry, Rod. It's still there. The bed is still there. Brad custom made me a table, so I still have a bed in there as of now. So your room is still there, Richard. It's still there. All right, Rod. Cha-Ching King sent a $10 super chat and said, okay, everybody look, what's the oldest item in your store?
Bringing that up now.
I'm going to go look. Hold on.
Oldest, like the oldest item we're selling, or how long it's been listed for?
Like, yeah, Scott, do you want to know the item or how long it's been listed? Tell us what you're wanting to know. The item or how long it's been listed? What do you want to know, Scott?
Yeah, I got items in my store from the 1800s, so.
You lived that long?
Yeah,
eBay was back then?
Some books, man. I got some old books in there.
How long has eBay been around?
He's one of those sellers. He's been on eBay
you?
since 1800.
The item, he wants
Rod
to
is
know
a
the
relic.
item that has
Yeah,
been listed the
listed.
longest.
I think Rod is a vampire.
Yeah, no.
While I'm looking, I do want to say that Rod's talking about toys and things he collects. I was watching his recent video, amongst other ones, but his recent video that he came out with, I was looking at the table that he had, and then he was going picking stuff from one table, putting it on a bigger mound of stuff. I was like, holy moly. So when he says he collects toys, folks, the things that he comes across, I'm like, wow.
Thanks, man.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a crazy pickup. The lady wouldn't just let me buy it all. She was unloading from totes, so she had to put it on certain tables, and then I moved to another table. Then people started coming up and taking items off the table. It just caused a big cluster. So, but I find crazy stuff. Man.
You're moving too slow. You got to just have a big old net and throw it over and say, trying to find. You know, I'm going through this and I'm like, oops, I didn't take this stuff off of my sold items. And that's a comment that we got earlier was, say using list perfectly. When something sells, use list perfectly to take everything off. Because I didn't do that from what I'm finding on some of these things. Oh, I think I found it. At least one of my oldest ones, 2 years old. All right, so my item is New Tags Ale by Alessandra. It's called a Solana Fedora. It's more like a rice straw type of hat. It's I got like 12 from the Win when I used to work there. I used to be armed security, and they would always give us kind of a special discount day once a year for employees. So when I would go inside there as a reseller, I would buy it, and I got like a dozen of them for $8 each. 2 of them sold for $125, and one of the recent ones sold for I think $45. So I've already made my profits, more than 10-fold, but I got 3 left, and I've had them for about 2 years. I think that's my oldest items because I got 3 of them.
I got my longest listed item is 8 months. I'll go in and refresh them for a while, but I have a few sitting at the bottom of my listing pile because I want to go in my bins and take them out and just donate them. I've had this pair, it's only been listed for 8 months, so it says, but I've probably had it 3 years, a pair of No Fear board shorts. They're just black on black. They're nothing exciting. They're only listed for like $12.50, but I'm trying to wait till I get some time and then just pick off about 10 to 20 items in my store and donate them. I used to never do that, but I want to get rid of them. I don't want them anymore. They're not selling. They're low priced. It's time to go. So 8 months, no fear board shorts, had them 3 years.
So for me, during the pandemic, I was flipping a lot of video game systems, and I actually have a Nintendo Switch still in my store, and it's been there for about 2.5 years. So it's a collector's box. So I'm actually just going to take it down probably and just throw it in my closet. A lot of people don't realize the old video game like collectors, like a Pokemon edition or a Smash Bros edition, those bring a premium. So later on, so some of those I'll just buy and throw it for super high price. If it doesn't sell, I'll take down, and then I'll just store it until what they call like Legos, like retired, and then you can just relist it and get a premium for it.
So my oldest item is a book. It's Essentials of Russian, and it's been listed since May of 2019, so almost 4 years. And I actually counted. I have 24 items that are listed from 2019 that probably could be donated. So let me give Scott his dolphin first. Scott gets the original, and then we will get Resell to Ride. And then I saw another. We have 3 of them. Here is your dolphin, Scott. Super cute. And after all of my dolphins, we will do another giveaway for a $60 gift card for my 60K. If you were not here earlier, I already gave away one $60 Amazon gift card. I will give away another as soon as we finish these 3 super chats. So Resell to Ride sent a $5 super chat and said, on eBay, do you think running a % off sale is more productive or a % off coupon? I normally run 10% off coupons, but I think I need a change.
I've tried a mixture of both coupons and percentage ad off of them, and I haven't found any significant difference other than just knowing that I have it up there, one or the other. Right now, I haven't had any of them in use for a week, and I've still been getting sales. So I'll try to test things at times because it's less money to pay out, but at the same time, I know what I pay for things and how much I could get for them. So I don't know. I don't do very much. The highest percents I do is like 3%. I tried 9 before and it did great, but at the same time, there's things I didn't need to use it on. So it's kind of up in the air for me.
Yeah, and I haven't even experimented with the coupons. I know a lot of people have had great success, but I just haven't added it to my repertoire. So I just go with the percentage off sales.
Yeah, I do the same thing. I think the percentage off sales will work better for you. I don't send out offers when I have a sale going on. And then, like I said earlier, I like to wait for the sale to end and then send out offers after, because I think people that miss the sale, they see it ended, like, oh man, I missed it. Now I have one last chance to buy it at a discounted rate. And for me, I get more sales after my sales are over by sending out offers. So I would use that sales in conjunction with the offer. That may help boost your sales.
Yeah, so I think the percent off sale as well is going to be more productive than a coupon. And I say that because as a buyer, I've tried to use a couple of coupons and it wouldn't let me, and I got frustrated and didn't buy from the person. But I also send offers as well. I'll also say when I wasn't marking up, I noticed a much bigger response to 15% off than I did to 10. I don't know why, but I think people respond better to 15%. 10%, they're kind of like, whatever. But I do, oh dear Lord. See, now I didn't mute myself because I'm talking. I don't think the coupons, but I haven't tried them a lot because we're running the sales is working for me. So let me give you your dolphin. Then we will get one more dolphin, and then we will give away a $60 Amazon gift card, and then we'll get back to the questions. Here is your dolphin. Dun, 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 dun. Miss Catherine sent a $1.99 super chat. Thank you so much. Here's your dolphin, and then we're going to $60 Amazon gift card, guys. Here is your dolphin. All right, let me share my screen. Take the comment off. And then you will see what you need to put.
And
to
I will
enter.
enter this one, and if I win, I will double it again, and we can run it again. So
Hashtag 60K, guys. Hashtag 60K. Put it in the chat. Entering to win a $60 Amazon gift card. $60 Amazon gift card. Hashtag 60K, which I hit this week. Thank you all so much. We have almost 500 people in the chat too, 470. Thank you all for being here. Everybody's getting in. Over on Facebook too, you guys can enter as well. So hashtag 60K for a $60 gift card.
And
I would
please hit
not
the thumbs up, folks.
recommend. Huh? What?
Please hit the thumbs up. That's
Please
free.
hit the thumbs up. Please hit the thumbs up, and please do not put a question in the middle of this because we very likely will miss it. But I will tell you it's 9:30 and we have 26 questions in front of you.
Whoa.
So we probably won't get to it. I'm not going to lie. Not going to lie.
get those hashtags in.
173 entries, almost 500 people. It's free. $60 Amazon gift card. I will send it to you celebrating 60K tonight.
60K. Congratulations.
It's a big milestone.
That is.
It
Now,
is,
if you guys aren't
Scott.
subscribed to her channel, subscribe to it, because if we hit 70K, she'll give away more stuff. So
Give away more money.
yeah.
Just imagine what I'll do when I get a plaque, you know? Share it with your friends.
Sharing is caring.
Dun,
206.
dun, dun, dun. Let's do it. I think we should be able to get 300. It's free money, guys.
Let's go.
And I know resellers like free money. Come on.
If it's free, it's for me.
Guilty.
Free, free, free.
That's a whoop whoop.
Whoop. Yay. I'm glad it arrived safely, Michelle. Rod, what are you giving away? Constance, he's doubling it. If he wins, he will double it. He's not doubling it if he doesn't win.
Yeah, if I win, I'm like the bonus, though. Like, when you go spin a wheel and you land on that one little special spot, if it lands on my spot, she'll rerun it and I'll double it.
Oh, free spins. I love the casinos.
Yeah.
Free spins. Hold on. I'm going to grab. We have 2 super chats. While everybody's entering with hashtag 60K, I'm going to give 2 more dolphins. Paula sent a $1.09 or $2 super chat. Here's your dolphin. Thank you so much. Otherwise, we will never find them ever again. Miss Kathy sent, sorry, Mikey. Kathy sent, Mikey is censored right now. Kathy sent a $5 super sticker. Thank you so much. Here is your doll. Dun, 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 dun.
Kat, you have to get them to change the placement of the bottom part of that. Move it to the top.
I know. I wish we could still show our names when the questions were up too.
Yeah.
No, you don't get more entries when doing it more than once. 225 entries. Only half of you want to win $60 for free. What's going on?
Hey, it gives everybody else a better chance.
All right. We're going to give it 1 more minute, my friends.
1 minute.
One more minute. And then we will draw it. And then we will get back to the questions and try to answer as many of them as we possibly can. I know some people are behind in the chat because we saw hashtag celebrations coming in way late. So I think some people started at the beginning and they're behind. So I think that might accommodate.
Kat, should we do a speed
Taylor
round?
Exchange is in the house. What is going on? He and I were chatting over on Instagram earlier. Taylor, I'm giving away $60 for hitting 60K. We already gave away one $60 gift card. I'm giving away another one. I hit 60,000 subscribers this week, so I'm giving away I almost said $60,000. I am not giving away $60,000. I'm giving away $60. Maybe one day. When I hit 1 million, I will give away 60,000.
Are we gonna
Dollars.
do speed
Heaven
round
help me
tonight?
if I did it.
Pennies.
I'll figure it out.
Pennies. Oh, okay.
60,000 pennies. All right.
I'll take
Let's
it.
go ahead and draw the winner now. Here we go. Who's going to win the second $60 Amazon gift card? Karen!
Another
Karen is
K.
the winner.
Congrats.
Yay, Karen. Karen, email me the nurseflipper@yahoo.com. Stephanie, your name is not Karen. Nice try, though, buddy.
Me? These names with K's are on fire tonight.
There's Karen.
Aaron?
All right. Question for Miss Connie. I have 600 listings up. How can I get more offers to send? I only get 1 or 2 per day.
I don't know how to get more to be more eyes on to send out offers. To tell you the truth, I don't know. Maybe I should do some more research on that.
Well, the way I know how you can get more eyes on your offers is if you promote your listings. So I could suggest promote your listings. More people might see it. More chances of people maybe watching it.
Yeah, promote your listings is what I would go with too. But I'll also check your price points, because the way to send out, when people add it to their watch list, that's how you're gonna be able to send them offers. So people aren't looking or clicking on your items if you're only getting 1 or 2 a day. So what I would do is highly recommend double check your price points on there. Your price is maybe too high, and that's why people aren't clicking or adding to their watch list. Or you're selling items that are flooded market, and like Mikey said, you need to promote it. Try to increase maybe your 1 or 2 percentage points on your promoted listing.
Yeah, so I would say improve your listings, improve what you're buying, because you need to get more people looking at your items. So check your keywords, check your spelling. I find a lot of misspelled words when I do store reviews, and I sold a Longaberger basket liner the other day. It was a geranium flower and it said geranium. I don't know how they found it. I don't know how it sold. I was like, son of a gun. So, but it did. It did. But check your spelling, pictures, make your pictures good. Basically, by having better listings and better items, you'll get more offers to send, because you get offers to send by people looking at your items. That's how you get them. I just wanted to put this up. Miss Susan did not win, but she turned 75 yesterday. Happy birthday, Miss Susan. I hope it was a good one. Happy birthday. Let me see. Hold on. Sherry Faith. How often do you have items that arrive damaged? It seems like I have 1 out of 30 end up broken, and it wasn't even glass. I ship an expensive vase, no problems. I ship a chip figurine, and it arrived broken.
That's a lot. 1 out of 30. How do you have items that arrive damaged? I sometimes they break. Sometimes I just had a return a week and a half ago on a tiki mug that the person opened it and they showed the box that nothing was wrong with the box. I know how I shipped it was secure, but for some reason it ended up breaking. Was it a scam or a flip on an item? I don't think so. I think there's some things where we can't see beyond the surface of stuff, that they have these cracks or imperfections and they just give, just like our bodies at times trying to get out of bed. But on another story, this it happens, but for items, folks, if this is happening consistently, I would say make sure your items are insured with first class, especially if it's a small item and you feel like it's worthy enough to have it insured. It's easy to do, a click on the button on eBay. And for that reason, I am very pro insurance with items, even if it's $27, if it makes sense. But if you feel that way already with your gut feeling, have a little price higher on the insurance and say why you have it in there in the description for that cost.
If you 1 out of 30 does definitely seem like a lot. You just got to make sure you're packing stuff up. I'm sure you know what you're doing. If not, there's lots of YouTube videos you can watch out there. It also could be small sample size and you're running bad. maybe after you come out of this break of 1 in 30 end up broken, you don't get anything broken for like 1 in 250. It goes like that for returns. Sometimes you seem like you're getting a lot return, and then you go for a long time and you don't have returns. So there's variance in numbers, and maybe hopefully you're just getting a lot of broken things right now, and later you'll make up for it with less breaks. That's how I look at it.
So I used to have a wholesale contract with Forever Collectibles, and I used to like get bobbleheads created and stuff like that. And they don't even put packaging on their things. They do what they call a drop test. They literally hold the box up 5 feet and they drop it straight down. And if they open it up, if the items don't break, that box is secure. So I mean, you can ship items without paddings and stuff like that in them. But if you're having 1 out of 30 break, there's something going on with your shipping. So what I would recommend do is picking up those boxes, maybe trying to do a drop test on other items that you're packaging up, something that's not valuable, just to double check the way you're packaging things to see if those items are getting damaged. Also, too, if you pick up your box and that thing rattles around inside, there's a good chance it's going to get damaged, get broken. So anytime I pick up my items and before I ship them, I always give a little shake to them to see if I hear something rattling around, I open it up and put more padding in there. But it might just be the way you're packaging items. You think that you're doing it good, but once they start moving in transit, it's shifting and moving that package supplies inside to the side and just bounce up inside the boxes. So that would be the only thing I could think of. Or start, looking at other items that aren't breakable, like clothing and other items to sell, and just change up what you're selling if you're running into those many issues. Because if you're having 1 out of 30 items being damaged, you're going to run the risk of negative comments, neutral comments, and that's going to hurt your overall performance of your account, and it's going to bring down your overall percentage, and that's not good. So something you need to adjust something. So I would take a look at all those factors and see what happens from there.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Rod. If you're having 1 out of 30 break, I say it's your packing. I shipped out 3,000 items last year, and I think 1 or 2 broke out of 3,000. Bubble wrap is really, really cheap. I would use more of it than what you're using. You might be doing like I do. So I see that you say the expensive vase, no problem. I pack things better the more they sell for. So maybe because that lower figurine is cheaper, you're just not packing it well enough, even though it needs to be. But we look at like the different box. If it's more expensive, we use more bubble wrap if it's more expensive. So I would say use more bubble wrap. Use more bubble wrap. I have to, where did this go? Hold on. Now I lost it again. Oh, look, Kathy says, if you buy something from me, you learn how to pack for a hurricane. Bubble wrap is cheap. Like, use a lot of it. I love American Bubble Boy. It's cheap. Use it. It's like 5 cents a sheet. So if you add 2 more sheets, that's 10 cents. But 10 cents is cheaper than, I'm sure, the cost of that item that just broke. So I would say you need to change how you're packing. That's too high of a number.
And something
Sassy
like,
granny pants. What, Sonny? You're not sassy granny pants.
no, but for that hurricane glass, right? I'm picturing a high value item. Now, a customer with something like that item that's looking for it, they're expecting you to have the best packing, and it's going to cost.
Well, she said her expensive one was fine. It was the cheap figurine that wasn't.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I'm thinking, like, I know if stuff's cheaper, I don't necessarily pack it as well. So I'm wondering, you know what I mean? Where you're like, oh, this is a $10 shirt versus this is a $100 shirt. Like, I'd probably put a $100 shirt in a box versus a $10 shirt in a poly bag. Yeah. So that's the only thing I can think of. Because if your expensive stuff's arriving okay, you obviously can pack well. You know how to pack well. But I bet the smaller you're probably not. Anyways, Sunny is not Sassy Granny Pants. Sassy Granny Pants is Stephanie. Stephanie sent a $2.99 super chat. I'm sorry you didn't win a $60 gift card for what? Does Whatnot even have gift cards? We should check that out. Whatnot should have gift cards. They should totally have gift cards. They have the giveaways, but those are random. Well, just like this. All right. Sassy Granny Pants, here is your dolphin. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. I'm like clicking too many things that I shouldn't be clicking. Hold on. Scrolling. Miss Barbara wants to know, Mikey, have you ever been to Hawaii, and what's the beginning of your shirts?
Okay, I have been to Hawaii. I went probably about 4 or 5 years ago for the first time. It's amazing. A part of me still stays there. I just love the ocean, and I live in the desert, so it's really dry here. So just the humidity, the ocean, it just felt really good. So yes, I've been to Hawaii. The beginning of my shirts, I will say, I used to be in construction and I used to work for a company, and we had to wear the same shirt every day. And it was like a uniform. It always had paint on it and stuff. And as soon as I became a reseller and didn't have to wear that uniform every day, I started going to the thrift stores and just buying the most outrageous shirts I could find, because that's how I like to roll, outrageously. So I would say the freedom of shedding the work uniform every day guided me to my fashion senses I still have now and my expression through fashion. And I just love it. I dig it. It's fun. I like to add a little bit of color. I notice I go out there, it's a sea of gray, and I just like to pop up with my nice shirt and bubbly personality and spread joy through the world.
That's how my bright hair came about. It was like a rebelling from, I don't have a job with a dress code anymore. So now I have bright purple hair, but that kind of wore off. But now I do like crazy nails instead. I might do that. Some people have asked me like why. There's no reason. I just, my hair, well, there is a reason. My hair was getting fried and I kind of like my hair. So it had to take a break for a little while. Miss Melissa said, I sell on Poshmark and a buyer bought an item from me. She didn't pick it up at her post office. It got returned to me, and now she's harassing me for her money back, and even found her on Facebook. So what do you guys recommend for this situation?
I think, Mike, you have a better answer, but I've never had that on Poshmark, and I sell pretty good on Poshmark. I would first, if it's harassment, that's an entirely different thing rather than, hey, I want my money back. I would report her to the Poshmark peeps and say where she's followed you on other accounts and harassing you there. But I think Mikey could answer this one better than.
Are you going to say you got to hit that block button? Just block them. I mean, unfortunately, you did your job. You tried to send it to her. I'm sure you could also tell her to reach out to Poshmark. Poshmark, that's one of the things I like about them. They really like to side with the buyer and the seller. Plenty of times things don't come to the place and they still pay me as a seller and they refund the buyer. So one, tell her to reach out to Poshmark. Two, hit the block button and just move on, forget about it. And hopefully she doesn't still follow you some other method.
Yeah, same thing. Just tell them to go through the proper steps to the proper platform and let the platform handle it.
Yeah, I would probably block her on Posh and Facebook. Well, first I would tell her, contact Poshmark. You didn't pick the item up. You don't have the control to issue a refund on Poshmark. Only Poshmark can do that. So you don't even have that ability to do it. If she didn't pick it up, that's her fault. I say, tell her you need to contact Poshmark. It is not in my ability to do so. And then block her everywhere you can block her. Search everywhere for her name. Everywhere for her name. Somebody got mad at me today because I blocked them on Whatnot. Random little fact. I do not block people lightly. So if you are blocked, there is a reason. And this person was extremely rude in a Facebook Whatnot group. And I was like, I never want this lady buying from me ever. I'd never had any interaction from her, but the way she talked to people and how rude she was, I blocked her on Whatnot. She said her Whatnot name, I blocked her. You know what? I don't want that kind of people in my shows or my life. And it's funny because she found my videos and she said, you don't even know me and you blocked me on Whatnot. Well, guess what happened? She's blocked on YouTube now, sucker. So if that's you and you can't comment, that's why, because you were being very nasty to people and I didn't like it. Okay. Lori Lee, and because I can. Lori Lee said, thanks again, Kat. I'm officially on eBay because of you, newbie for now. Not for long. The more you do it, the better you will get at it. Congrats. Starting is the hardest part. I think everybody makes it seem so scary. And until you actually do, like actually doing it is the biggest step. So congrats on that. Here is your dolphin. Thank you so much. They're probably in here commenting and none of us can see them. Okay. Anyways. Grace wants to know, do you use your own address or is it better to use a P.O. box?
I first started out with my own address when I was smaller, and the only reason why is because the post office mailboxes here were all filled up. And then after about a year or two, when one finally opened up, I snagged it up. And I would recommend using your own. And the reason why, I've received emails and letter in the mail of people saying what I should do as a YouTuber, and it's come off really weird and awkward. And they're also here in Vegas, so I don't want my personal stuff or my address being an easy access for people to come to my place and do something crazy, because who I am on YouTube can harm my family at home. So I'm very cautious of that. I have family and friends come over often. So it's better to always safeguard yourself, because you just never know who's out there, what you say, how people take it, even if you have no intentions of malice towards anybody or anything. So always be careful, because you may be thinking about yourself, but if you have loved ones, that's who you're protecting. You're also protecting your business, so you could continue to do this and not feel any type of way other than happy and looking forward to what we do as resellers, entrepreneurs, artists, and whatever you're working on.
For sure, it's better to use a P.O. box unless you're super rural and it takes a long place to get to. I even like a P.O. box for, my wife likes to order a lot of stuff from Amazon. So instead of it sitting out in front of the house, unattended, unknown or anything, it goes to the box. It's part of my business routine. All my returns also get sent to the same box. So it's nice and easy, secure, safe, protects my personal address. It's not that expensive. It's all a write-off. So P.O. box all the way, unless you're rural. If it takes you like 30 minutes to get to your P.O. box or something like that, it might not be worth it, and just have stuff mailed to your house. Other than that, I don't see anything wrong with why you wouldn't.
I would say if you're just selling or not on social media platforms or advertising on YouTube, stuff like that, you can get away probably as a small seller just using your personal address. But for safety reasons, it's only like $150 or $200 for an entire year. It goes a long way. If you're on social media, if you're posting up things that you collect, if you have a YouTube channel, stuff like that. For me, I do pro wrestling, and I wrestle as a bad guy, and I have gotten hate messages and hate mail, and I have gotten people telling me they're waiting in the parking lot for me with the baseball bats, and they're going to have a hearse waiting for me after the show, and because I'm doing my job. I'm a bad guy, like when I wrestle, so they're supposed to hate me. But so it will have my post office just shut down, but I will be getting a new P.O. box. But yeah, definitely a P.O. box for me. So.
Yeah, so before I was on social media, I just used my address. And I think typically, like if you're just reselling, you're not on social media, I say I don't think you need a P.O. box. If you're doing any social media and putting yourself out there, that is when you need to get a P.O. box. I think I got mine when I hit like 500 subscribers on YouTube. I luckily don't get the nastiness. I haven't yet. Now I will from that one person. So yeah. So, I mean, if you're worried about it, you could get a P.O. box. I'm rural, but I'm only 10 minutes to the post office. So I'm not horribly far, but, yeah. So if you're worried about it, get one. But I would say if you're not out there on social media, I wouldn't overly worry about it. I'd flip that, send $1.99 super chat to our reseller showdown contestants in a few weeks. Yay! I don't have the sound effects. I need to get like a box or something. I'm going to look for that. Okay, here is your dolphin. Thank you so much. All right, Richard wants us to try. Sonny, I need you to try to answer these questions very fast.
I don't make any promises, not even to my wife, because I always never follow through with it.
Okay, so we're going to try and answer. We still have 25 questions, guys. 25 questions still in the chat. We're not getting through 25 in 5 minutes. But we're going to try and answer as quick as we can. Number one, do you promote your listings on eBay, and how much do you promote?
Usually at 3%. Yes.
I like trending, but if it's like a hot item, I won't promote it, or I'll go 2%.
Most of the time, 2 to 3%, unless it's a hot item, then I have to do a little bit higher.
Trending plus 3%. Angela Barnes, do any of you do print on demand items? If so, have you had issues with eBay with the print on demand model?
I don't use eBay print on demand model other than what Amazon, merch by Amazon, and they do all that work.
Yep, no print on demand for me.
I once did print on demand about 10 years ago, and that's how I got kicked off eBay.
Ooh.
So,
yeah, I do not. Cora's Corner, how do you send me a coffee? Richard just posted the link about 30 seconds ago. Richard, will you drop it one more time? If you guys don't know, Buy Me a Coffee takes out way less percent than YouTube does. YouTube takes out 30%. Buy Me a Coffee only takes like 5%. Just FYI. Is it more important to list the same number every day, or do you think any number of listings will do?
I believe any number of listings will do.
Yeah, same here. Just consistency is key. I mean, if you do random, just do random. Make sure you do every day.
list the amount of money that you need to list every day, but the amount of listings won't matter as long as you hit your threshold of how much you need to make per day.
I agree with Rod. Noni's Treasures, is all your inventory climate controlled? What items would you be comfortable not having in a climate controlled area like a garage? She lives in Chicago.
For me, it would be shoes because they deteriorate pretty bad if the weather fluctuates from heat to cold like Vegas does here. That's the only thing that I can think of for me.
Yeah, I got a lot of stuff that isn't climate controlled, but anything special or expensive is climate controlled and in better conditions.
Any item that could be in a warehouse and not in climate control, I can keep in a storage unit or a garage. Any of my high-end items, such as video games or like comic books or graded items, I keep in a climate control.
So I don't know what Chicago is like. I see your snowflake, so I have no clue about like what would be okay there. For me, everything is climate controlled. The only thing here in Florida being very humid, I would be okay would be like glass items for me because we don't get the freezing. So the humidity is not gonna, I don't think. If somebody wants to correct me, correct me. Miss Constance, I think this is the question you've been waiting for all night. Candy says, I'm adding more listings to get my eBay back up again. How does combined shipping work today? I'm old school and they asked and I sent an invoice through eBay. So I think just one of us needs to grab this. I trust you, Sonny. Do it fast.
Nope, you go.
Okay.
I'll be here a year.
If they have not paid, you do send them an invoice. You do exactly what you said. If they have paid, I tell them I will refund them after I ship the item so I can see how much it costs. Had a buyer wanting to cancel an order, but the item is packed and ready to go out on Wednesday and the money has been deposited. What would you do?
So it's already paid for?
Yeah, it's packed, but I guess my question would be, and I don't know if Kathy's still here, my question would be, have you already paid for the label? That would be my question.
If she already
ouch. I know you could cancel it because they already asked for it, and that would be one of the options. But it will take around a month for you to get reimbursed for that shipping, or they would. That would be weird. Without using that label, they're gonna refund you, but it's gonna take some time.
Yeah, I cancel it myself. It's the best customer service. They want to cancel. They could send a return for you. Then you're paying double to ship it. So, and it's not even out the door yet.
Same thing you said. If they ship the item through FedEx or UPS, they don't charge you until they actually scan the item. So you won't be charged anything for that label. If it's UPS, if it's United States Postal Service, you have 24 hours to cancel your label and get a refund.
Yes, I agree. That's exactly what I would do. Ashley said, I have my first eBay return. The item shows it was delivered. Buyer claims they never got it and selected item broken as the reason. What should I do? Again, I think only one of us needs to grab this.
I'll talk to eBay and tell them that pointed out that it's already been received. They're going to ask you for the shipping. I'll send a tracking number so they could see that it was delivered. And then if it wasn't returned, how was it broken? If it's contradicting itself. And I'm pretty sure they're going to side with you. So I'd go through eBay.
Yeah, so if they open a return and they don't have it, they have nothing to send back. It'll get canceled. You'll get your money. So no big deal at all.
If they sent you a message, eBay, if you call up eBay can actually go back and see the message and actually go through your chat messages, and they will side with you.
Yes. All right, let's take a couple more and then we will go. Constant said, oh, I did answer it. I answered it. I knew you were waiting all night. We already answered this one. Oh, somebody was asking where my journals are. So Old Things New said got our journal today and we love it. I want to encourage everyone to get it for themselves. It is a really nice leather journal set with pins. I now am only selling them on Whatnot. So they're in my buy it now on Whatnot for $10 if you guys want them. I think we have about 40 left. We had like 400. So we're getting down to the nitty gritty, like a year and a half later, finally. So they are available on my Whatnot and the buy it now for those of you that were asking where to get it. It used to be on my Big Cartel store. Mile High Mom, when you send an offer, do you leave the counter option open? Why or why not?
On some items, not all of them. If they're less than $20, I just close it off at a certain price. For bigger items, more valuable items, I do leave the offer open, but it still depends on what their counter is going to be, if they counter or not decline it.
Yeah, same, pretty much share about the same parameters.
Yeah, the only way I leave it on is an item that I didn't know what the price was, so I was really fishing for a price point on it, so I allowed them to counter me. If it's a smaller or high item I know is going to sell fast, I would just turn off counter offers.
All right. Mikey, how many shirts do you own? Do you know that? Scott wants to know.
I don't know that. I think it's getting close to 100 Hawaiians, though. It's getting ridiculous.
100?
Nice.
Yeah.
Candy wants to know which do you use more, buy it now or make an offer. I think she's asking like buy it now without an offer. Or do you put on best offer?
Best offer.
Best offer.
Buy it now.
Best offer. Rose wants to know, can I tell her how I got suspended? I got suspended on Facebook Marketplace for license plates. I know Marsha answered you in the chat. Facebook Marketplace is the only platform that does not allow vintage license plates. Take it from me, do not put them there. They permanently banned me for vintage license plates. Scott, this is the last question. We got to all of them but 9. We did good. Sonny, I'm so proud of you. What kind of mic do you have, Rod?
I have a Blue Yeti mic. If you go to my YouTube videos, in my description, I have a link directly, Amazon link for it. But there you go.
See, Mikey? Self-promote. That's why we're here. Guys, if you don't know, I'll just tell all of you here. Our links that we put in the chat or in our descriptions, like Amazon, our recommendations, they're not our products. We get like 2%. It's a small commission. It's a way to help support us. It's not a lot, but it can add up over the time of a month. Same thing with List Perfectly or American Bubble Boy. All of those, you don't pay anymore, but we get a small commission. So if you want to help and support your content creators and get something for it, that's a good way to do it. As well as shopping our eBay stores and things like that. I get asked all the time, like how they can help support that. Those are some ways, especially like if you're on Amazon and shopping and you are looking at stuff we have, that helps. All right. I'm going to let Sonny and Mikey tell you guys goodbye. Me and Rod will tell you what we have coming up. Sonny and Mikey can tell you what they have coming up, and I will next week. I don't know. So here is Sonny.
Thank you, everybody, for joining. I know I'm long-winded with stuff. I forget about people who have different times and got to sleep. This coming week, I am going to be in California, El Monte, at the FleaCon. And then after that, next week, I'm going to be working with eBay on their O-Ship series, which Kat has been a part of, and a handful of other resellers that I am fans and subscribe to. On top of that, I'm just trying to grow as much as I can, reach 30,000 subscribers by the end of the year, but I got to reach 10,000 first. And I got so many goals, and I try to make people part of it in my content and share that with you, especially with my amigo over here, Mikey Bags of Money. So I would like if y'all could give us a follow, give us a chance to see if we're worthy of your little thumbs up and subscription. And I hope you enjoy us as much as we enjoy content like Kat on here that we get to come and share our input and learn from one another.
Perfect. Here is Mikey.
All right. Well, Mikey Bags of Money. I'm putting out 3 videos a week. I'm back on Whatnot. Upcoming, the Reseller Cartel booth, the booth with me and Sonny and Danny, the Niche Ladies Good Stuff Thrift Store, is going to be having its grand opening on February 25th. We'll be down there. Come down, hang out. I'm sure she's going to be having all kinds of stuff going. Me and Sonny will have a meet and greet and some awesome sales to have. And thank you for having me. I love being a part of the reseller community. I love sharing information and just networking with other people. So it's been an honor and fun tonight. Thanks, Kat.
Thank you, Mikey. All right, Rod, what do you got going on?
So you guys heard me talk about my big slot car purchase. I actually just dropped a new video today. On a random Wednesday, I spent $2,100 at a yard sale. So go check out that video, like and subscribe. I drop multiple videos per week, usually thrift stores, yard sales, or flea markets. You guys can also find me on Facebook and Instagram at Pickin' and Punchin'. Please, if you guys have any questions, comments that we didn't get to tonight, reach out to me personally. I answer every single question. I am here to help and watch everyone grow together. So come check me out.
Yes, so next week we will have Amy from Yoso Boho along with Yvonne Thrifty Rich. That is who we will have on next week, and it is Valentine's Day. Next Tuesday is Valentine's Day. We will be live on Valentine's Day. I did make sure I told them it was Valentine's Day and make sure it was okay. I, again, am live 6 days a week on Whatnot. Most nights is 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. I go live after Dalton goes to sleep, so I don't miss any time with him. And then on the weekends, we most of the time do it early. I am not going to be live while the Super Bowl is on. I am going to be watching the Super Bowl. If you do not know, I am a big football fan. My husband hates it and puts his headphones on, and we're like reversed in our house. I'm a big football fan. So we will be doing that. And I will have a What Sold video out Thursday. And what I've decided to do with my brooch videos, and I think with my research videos in general, I think I'm going to pick one topic and do 4 videos on it that month. So I'm going to do 2 more brooch videos going down in price. And then I'll pick something else for March. That is my plan. And so, because a lot of people like the wow factor of the high dollar items, but they feel like they can't find them. So they've asked me for some lower price. So I'm going to start high, get lower, lower, and lower to ones that you are more likely to find throughout the series. We appreciate you guys coming. Definitely check out these 3 guys' channels. The link to their channels is in the description. Thank you all again for the super chats as well. I greatly appreciate it. We'll see you on Valentine's Day. Bye, guys.